All right, back for another beer review, and today I'll be reviewing yet another beer from the 450 North Brewing Company, and they are out of Columbus, Indiana, and this is their Slushmallow, the Peach Tang Fluff variant. So this is a sour ale that is brewed with peach, tangerine, marshmallow, and vanilla. Comes in at 5.44% alcohol by volume. No IBUs listed in time of review. This can is approximately 4.5 months old, and I'm going to give a huge thanks and shout out once again to a very good friend of mine and viewer of the channel, Todd. So thank you very much, Todd. I truly do appreciate it. In the description box, I'll post a link to the beer mail unboxing video I did that contains all the goodies that Todd hooked me up with. And yeah, he sent me a bunch of 450 North beers. He sent me 4 slushies plus this one. And yeah, I'm really excited to give this one a go. Now, like I do all of the other heavily fruited beers that I review on my channel, I poured this one off camera over the sink, and I knew this one was going to be a little bit problematic because of another good friend of mine and viewer of the channel, Jeff, aka No Jinx. He was also sent this one by Todd, and I believe he opened this one in his living room, and I believe it gushed everywhere, and he was only able to save I think a third of the beer. Luckily for me, when I got these beers, I threw them right into the fridge, and my fridge is pretty cold, so I put them also, all the slushies, in a big Ziploc bag, just in case they were to explode in the fridge. None of them did to this point. So I took this one out and I opened it over the fridge and it gushed. It did not explode, but it gushed. I was able to save most of it. I maybe have lost, I'd say 2 ounces at the most, because this, I believe, is a 16-ounce glass, so you can see a couple ounces less. So we probably have like 14 ounces, but I was able to save most of it, which I'm happy about, because I was thinking maybe I'd be able to review like half of the beer. But yeah, anyway, Peach Tang Fluff, peach, tangerine, marshmallow, and vanilla sour ale. Sounds pretty good to me. Like I said, 5.44% alcohol by volume. You now have to go and look at their website with actually their Facebook page to get the actual ABVs, because of the whole controversy last year with them not putting the correct ABVs on the label. They now do a lab test, and they put all of the ABVs of their slushes, whether it's their slushies or this, on their Facebook the day of or the day before they release them. And this one came in at 5.44% alcohol by volume, so I'm hoping that's true. Anyway, this pours out like a orange juice or a tangerine juice or a peach juice, or maybe a mixture of all three. Definitely murky and turbid. Really can't see through it. You know, it's pretty thick and viscous. A lot of carbonation. You can see remnants of the pulp, probably from the tangerine and the peach and whatnot that they're using in this one. But yeah, it looks like one of these, heavily fruited, fruit smoothie sours, we'll say. Let's get a nose. Man, that actually has a very slight hint of the drink Tang. They call this one Peach Tang Fluff. The reason they're probably calling it Tang is because tangerine, short for tangerine. But this has like a slight, Tang kind of quality to it. Except for that, or outside of that, lots of peach. This smells like a peach pie or like a peach cobbler or something. Tons of peach. That marshmallow is prevalent. Lots of vanilla. It has like a tartness to it, but it also smells like it's going to be sweet from the marshmallow and the fruit itself. Man. It smells interesting. It smells like fruit juice that has been combined with some kind of like pie or something of that nature, some kind of pastry to some extent. It smells really good though. The peach is screaming, tangerine's there, marshmallow, vanilla, I'm getting it all. Let's get into it. Cheers, everybody. Thanks again, Todd. Oh, hang on. That's fucking delicious. First off, just delicious. It takes your taste buds for a ride. It's like a roller coaster of awesomeness and fun. The body on this one, a lot of these are like thick. They're viscous. They're almost fruit smoothie-esque. This one, not as much. I would say this is higher side of medium, approaching low full, so this isn't like almost a full-bodied beer that's like fruit smoothie, but it does have a big base to it, I would say it's a big viscosity for the ABV. This is 5.44%. I would say that it drinks way bigger than that. I would guess like 8 or 9 if I was doing it blind based just on the body of it. The mouthfeel, soft, smooth, creamy, but there's a lot of carbonation here, more than most of their like slushy kind of beers that they release. It's definitely spritzy on the tongue. But the taste is awesome. Up front, it's that peach and that tangerine. It almost mixes into produce like that, like an actual Tang, like soft drink quality. But not to that level. It doesn't taste like artificial, even though that might be natural. I don't. Tang's probably artificial. I have no idea. I used to love Tang as a kid. Used to have it all the time, but it kind of replicates that kind of distinct taste to a slight degree. But mostly it's like fresh peach juice, freshly squeezed orange juice, tangerine juice, right at the forefront. As it continues on through the palate, the marshmallow and the vanilla hit, and it just reminds me of like a peach pie with like whipped cream on top of it. That's what I'm reminded of, right in the middle of the palate. But then you're reminded that this is a sour ale, because right after that, I'm hit with a low sourness, a straight up low sourness. I rarely say that when it comes to sour ales. I'm always like, this has a mild to moderate tartness, or it just has a high tartness. It approaches sour. This is a low sourness. It grips the back of my jaw. It's not puckering, but close to it. It definitely has a nice sourness to it. And I'm getting a decent amount of acidity on the back of the throat too. This is a pastry, to me, this is a pastry sour ale that produces both the pastry part and the sour ale aspect to it. Because more often than not, for me, when I drink a pastry sour ale, a lot of times it's either too sweet or too tart, and a lot of times the flavors don't mix well. This mixes extremely well. It's sweet yet refreshing. I could crush this in about a half a second. Yeah, this is fucking dynamite. I like this a lot. I didn't know what to expect other than potentially an explosion, and it did gush on me. But outside of that, that's pretty damn good. I can't tell you. I don't taste any alcohol. I think one of the first ones after the controversy that I reviewed, I could actually taste the alcohol, because I mean, you go look back at a lot of my 450 North beers, some of the first ones that Todd sent to me like a year and a half ago, almost, yeah, it was about a year and a half ago, I'd say. When he sent me them, I kept on saying a lot of them were 8%, 10%. And I was like, oh man, these drink like they're 3.5, they're 4, they're 5. Because they were. That's the problem, is they were. These do drink like they're 4, 5, 6%, because this actually is. So they're not saying this is a 10% beer anymore and it drinks like a 5. It is actually a 5.44% beer that drinks like it's 5.5 to 6%. So I'm happy with it from that aspect. I just like this. It's a lot of fun. So rating on the Slushmallow Peach Tang Fluff variant from 450 North, I'm going to give it a high 4.5 out of 5 and go 4.6 out of 5. Almost gets in the low 4.75. It's just where it lands for me. 4.6 out of 5 is an amazing score. This is one of the better 450 North slushies, or Slushmallow, whatever you want to call them, beers I've had from them in a while. This just hits the nail on the head for me. I think it's a fucking great beer. So if you've had this one before, definitely let me know what you think about it. And also let me know if you've had this one. Did it gush on you? Did it explode? Did it blow up everywhere? Because that seems to be the prevailing issue with this beer. If you go look at Untapped, a lot of people be like, oh, it gushed. I could only save so much, so on and so forth. I'm lucky and thankful that this one did not blow up like I thought it was going to. It just gushed a little bit. Price point availability, 450 North, brewery only. I've had so many comments over, man, literally the last half year, because a lot of the 450 North beers are my highest viewed beers. They are continually my highest viewed beers, especially the first like 2 or 3 that I posted. And a lot of people ask me, where can you get these? Where are they available? As far as I know, and Todd, you can correct me, or anybody else who trades or drinks 450 North stuff, I think these are just brewery only. Maybe they get little drips and drabs into local places around Columbus, but if you want this beer, you either have to go to the brewery or trade for it. That's as far as I know, that's how 450 North rolls currently. I know they've been doing online ordering where you online and can pick it up at the brewery and whatnot, but outside of that, I think you just got to buy them at the brewery and that's it. Price point, $20 a 4-pack. I would pay that all day, every day for a beer like this. Most of the fruit smoothie-esque sours go for anywhere from like $20 to $25 a 4-pack. This is on the lower end of the spectrum. I'd easily pay that all day, every day. Shout out to the motorcycle going by. But yeah, if you've had this one before, like I said, definitely let me know your experiences about if it exploded, what you think of the taste, how did you enjoy this one. Thanks again to Todd for hooking me up with this one. It's fucking delicious beer. And I love the fact that I can taste all 4 flavors in it, and it has a beautiful balance between the sour ale aspect and the pastry addition to this one. I'm loving it. So thanks again to everybody. To the next one. Cheers.